Let's break down the offer process, because knowing this in advance will save you a lot of time and stress. At some point after you see a home, you will let your team member know you want to present an offer. That triggers a chain of events. First, your team member will provide a recommendation on the fair market value of the property. Fair market value does not necessarily equal a predicted sale price, and it does not tell us where your offer has the highest chance of being accepted. Your agent will walk you through that separately. From there, I like to use what I call the 10 scale. How highly do you value this property? Is it a perfect 10? Or would you simply be satisfied if you were able to buy it? That number matters. It shapes strategy. Based on your feelings and your agent's findings, you'll land on a dollar amount, and then your team member will prepare the offer package. This includes the purchase contracts, mandatory disclosure, lead paint form if applicable, any seller disclosures, and your pre-approval or proof of funds. Many listing agents hold offers until a deadline. We typically like to present close to that deadline so our offer cannot be used as leverage to increase the price of another offer. When no deadline exists, I advise clients to move quickly once the decision is made. Depending on how many offers come in, you may not hear back until the next day. That window of time can feel like an eternity. Your team member will keep an open line of communication and update you as soon as they receive any news. At this point, one of 4 things happens. The offer is accepted, rejected, countered, or we land in what's called a final and best scenario. That's when the seller goes back to some or all of the buyers and asks for their strongest possible terms. We have stayed put and still won. We have increased our bid and won. Every situation is different. A deposit, or in legal terms, consideration, binds the agreement. The customary amount with an offer is $1,000, but a higher deposit can signal seriousness to a seller. Upon acceptance, those funds move into escrow and are applied toward the purchase. Deposits are typically handled electronically. Now let's talk contingencies. These are contractual tools that allow you to have certain conditions met before you are obligated to proceed. Common ones include financing, condominium document review, or the sale of a currently owned home. One important update on home inspections. In 2024, Massachusetts passed a law giving every buyer the right to a home inspection. It is no longer treated as a standard contingency subject to negotiation. Under the new law, a seller cannot accept an offer knowing the buyer intends to waive an inspection. There are substantial fines for doing so under Massachusetts consumer protection laws. Chapter 93A. The state stepped in to protect buyers from a very real risk. And frankly, this is a welcome change. You deserve to know what you are buying. Contingencies are designed to protect you, but they carry risk for a seller. The fewer contingencies in an offer, the more attractive it becomes. Keep that in mind when you think about offer strategy. Your team member will help you figure out which contingencies make sense to include and where you might have flexibility based on your risk tolerance and the specific property. If competition is stiff, we go deeper into the toolbox. There are a few tactics worth knowing. Removing contingencies you are comfortable accepting risk on, presenting a price that is not rounded to the nearest thousand, which leverages the same consumer behavior retail stores rely on. Tight or flexible dates and escalation clauses, where you agree to pay a set amount over the next highest offer. We have used all of these, and we have used none of them. Every situation calls for something different, and there will always be a real conversation with your team member before any offer goes out. To the surprise of no one, the winning bid is usually the highest, but sometimes that is not the case. Terms matter, certainty matters, and being prepared to move fast matters. Knowing these tools before you need them is itself a competitive advantage.